Welcome back everybody to the Alarmix YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to try to re-establish myself in the lore scene of Apex by explaining who Ash is, why we were building her in the Broken Ghost quest, and how she will affect the Apex games in the future. People, you may have seen some videos speculating about why we were building Ash in the Broken Ghost quest, but I think there are very few videos out there, if not none, that will go into this much detail talking about the past of Ash and putting all of the pieces together from the Titanfall lore, and then come up with a final conclusion of why is Ash in Apex Legends. I'm just gonna give you a quick example in the Broken Ghost quest when you actually approach Ash. Ash is saying Eduardo Darien and repeating those two names over and over. It turns out these two people actually come from the planet Olympus, and Lifeline and Octane, they do not particularly like these two people. After watching this video, you should have a pretty good idea of Ash's role in Apex Legends in Season 6 and even seasons beyond. But before we get into it, we actually have a sponsor for this video. In today's digital world, safety and privacy are two very important aspects to pay attention to online. Most internet users are not even aware of the amount of surveillance, limitation, and data mining done with their personal information on a daily basis. Surfshark is an app and browser extension that basically enables you to place your laptop or phone anywhere in the world. It allows you to access the internet as if you were in that country. Surfshark is a VPN service that protects your information by encrypting all the data that you send through the internet, keeping anyone unwanted from seeing it. If you ever had the problem of content being censored where you live, Surfshark can also help you with that. There have been times that content has been censored where I live, and if I had Surfshark, I wouldn't have had that problem. You can use a link in the description and enter code Alarmix for 85% off, which may I mention is the best deal on the market, and this will include 3 months of free VPN. So of course, people, major thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video, and let's get right back into it. So quickly, right off the bat, I'm gonna get into what we learned about Ash during the Titanfall 2 campaign for those people who didn't play it. But if you already know a lot about that stuff, right after that, I'm gonna get into some of my lore theories, stuff you may have not heard anywhere else. So once upon a time, before Ash was a simulacrum, she was a normal human and she was a very skilled fighter pilot. But one day, because of events that we don't know about, her human body was damaged beyond repair, and the only way to actually save her was to turn her into a simulacrum, put her human mind into a robotic body. As you may know from Revenant's backstory, they do not just turn anybody into a simulacrum. You have to be a very valuable person, and to Hammond Robotics, Ash was definitely worth it, and they turned her into a simulacrum. Sometime after this happened, Kuben Blisk, who very well may be the Season 8 legend of Apex, he got Ash to join his Apex Predators. The Apex Predators were basically this group of freelance mercenary pilots, and they were like the most elite fighters in all of the Outlands. The Apex Predators were hired by the IMC to fight for them in the Battle of Typhon. Ash participated in this, and she actually ended up killing one of the militia titans. The day after the Battle of Typhon, Ash retreated to the dynamic testing facility, which is where Ash would run simulations and often use militia pilots as test subjects. Then while Ash was on station at the dynamic testing facility, Jack and his BT Titan went after Ash, and for a while Ash actually had Jack and his BT Titan beat, but then she decided to kind of play with her kill, and like she tested with the militia soldiers, she tried to test the militia Jack and his BT Titan in the dynamic testing facility. This all ended up backfiring like pretty hardcore. Ash actually tried to self-destruct the entire facility to try to kill Jack in the process. Jack was freed, and then Jack and Ash fought, and Jack obliterated the heck out of Ash. It seems like this time certainly Ash was gone forever. At this time, Kuben Blisk was presumed the last living Apex Predator. All of the other Predators were killed in battle. After all of the original Apex Predators were presumed dead, there is a point in time when Blisk, it seems like he wanted to rebuild the Predators, and then he kind of fell off the map for quite a few years, and then all of a sudden he wound up and is organizing the Apex games. So there may have been more Apex Predators since the original ones died. There is just a huge time gap where Blisk could have done pretty much anything, but in the lore we know nothing about it. Because it did seem after the original Apex Predators died, Blisk really wanted to rebuild them. And just going back a little bit, Ash did self-destruct the entire very valuable Vision Dynamics testing facility just to try to kill Jack Cooper in the process. Like, that's an entire military base that was self-destructed just to try to kill one person. So after Ash was killed by Jack Cooper, she was rebuilt by Vision Dynamics. The next thing that we know about Ash after she was rebuilt by Vision Dynamics, at some point she was put in charge of the Remnant fleet. The Battle of Demeter was one of the most pivotal battles in all of the Frontier War. This is a battle in which the militia and IMC fought very viciously, but the militia came on top and ended up destroying the IMC's main fuel depot. The remnant fleet was in the Battle of Demeter, and this left them stranded away from their core systems, the places where the army wanted to be. So at some point, either before or after this, Ash was put in charge of the remnant fleet. The remnant fleet was basically the army unit that did all of the dirty work for the IMC. Like during one point, the militia army was rebuilding, like their army was pretty destroyed by the IMC, and then the remnant fleet was sent out to the militia planets where they were mining for their resources, and they were destroyed by the remnant fleet. But then sometime, most likely while Ash was in charge of the remnant fleet, she was broken again, apparently, because we saw her rebuilt in the Broken Ghost quest, as you know. But when we got the voice lines from Ash in the Broken Ghost, she had a couple of really interesting things to say. So first, when I was playing it, she said Duardo, Darian, Duardo, like she was saying those two names over and over. And then just a little bit later in the voice lines, she said just a little bit of betrayal for Breakfast A. So her saying those two names and saying a little bit of betrayal before Breakfast A, it seems like she's referring to what happened, you know, what broke her while she was in charge of the remnant fleet. So I did a little bit of digging who Duardo and Darian may be in the Titanfall lore, and I actually found like a sentence or two for you guys, and I'll read that off for you. Octane and Lifeline know of them and are fearful of them. They appear to live in Olympus. So this is when theories are going to kind of start to kick in. This is not going to be for sure stuff. So there is a chance when Ash was broken, she was actually on the planet Olympus. It seems like Ash wants revenge on the person who killed her, and it seems like the people who killed her were from Olympus. So, you know, Olympus being the suspected Season 6 map, there is a chance that the motive, or one of the motives for us being at Olympus, is because Ash wants to get revenge on the people who betrayed her, the people who broke her once again. I don't know if you guys know this, but in the Broken Ghost quest, Hammond Robotics is actually paying off Loba by saying that if Loba gets Ash together, then they will tell Loba the location of the Revenant head where it teleported to. So people, my theory with Ash, what Ash is being used for, is that she's Revenant's replacement. Hammond Robotics was the actual organization involved with getting Ash back together, and then I'm guessing Ash is going to be sent off to the Syndicate, or at least the control of Ash. Kind of like how it was done with Revenant. Hammond Robotics made Revenant, and then they sent Revenant off to the Syndicate for them to use. It seems like in our Apex Legends universe, the Syndicate is the top dog, and if you don't listen to the Syndicate, they will kill you. We learned this in the Twitter teaser. There were problems with Revenant, and you know, the Syndicate wanted it fixed. And then Hammond Robotics was forced to listen to the Syndicate. And kind of a fun fact about Revenant, if you didn't know this, in 2420, Revenant was actually the first simulacrum ever made. But Revenant being the first simulacrum ever, he wasn't fully operational till 2440. Ash is a simulacrum herself, and she's basically a more modern version of Revenant. I wouldn't say that Ash is better than Revenant in every way. Under the Apex Legends Season 4 simulation launch trailer, it does say that Revenant, he was the greatest hitman and mercenary syndicate ever had. So I think it is a decently viable option for the Syndicate to replace their loss of Revenant with Ash. What happened in the simulation launch trailer is Revenant got a piece of glass in his neck, and it actually damaged the robotic system that made Revenant think he was still human. And what we learned from one of these Twitter teasers is that if a simulacrum like Revenant ever figures out that he's not a human, that the robot will basically go rogue, as Revenant has done. So Revenant breaking in this way took the control of Revenant away from the Syndicate. And something cool about Ash is she is a simulacrum, but she knows that she's a simulacrum. But Ash is still a violent person. Like when she was destroying the Vision Dynamics facility, she said she was gonna self-destruct the entire facility just to kill this one pilot. And then she said that, you know, that was overkill. So she's basically contradicting herself. In the Broken Ghost quest, we also get some pretty strong hints that she's kind of going insane. But these are just theories, these are just speculation. But I think the way that it works is that Ash, she's not going crazy because she knows she's a simulacrum. She's a later model, maybe to where that bug was worked out. But because of all of the crazy things that happened to her in her life, or maybe she was just a crazy human before she was turned into a robot, Ash is still not the perfect person, but she may be the perfect vicious killer for the Syndicate. But you know, at the same time, Respawn probably didn't put all of this stuff together about the Syndicate having their hitman that is Revenant, that is an epic hitman, and then have that guy get replaced with Ash. I'm guessing that's not just what's gonna happen in the lore. Like, how is Ash gonna affect you and your Apex games? But quickly, people, before we get into the rest of the video, if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, it'd be super cool if you go below this video and hit that subscribe button. I do a bunch of random Apex Legends stuff on my YouTube channel. So I really don't think that Ashe is going to be the Season 6 Legend, and I'll give a couple of reasons behind that. Whenever I talk about Rampart, the Season 6 Legend, people are showering in my comments. I thought Ashe is the Season 6 Legend. You know, she's the legend we saw in the quests. Ashe is going to be the Season 6 Legend. So I'm sure you've seen this quite a few times, but we did have this developer sheet leaked. And this sheet that's been 100% accurate up until now, it says that Rampart's going to be the Season 6 Legend, but is there any chance that Ashe, she will be coming in the future or in replacement of one of these legends or something? So the Season 6 Legend, it does seem that that legend will still be Rampart as of now, or it seems that Nova may have something to do with it. It's just that in the game files right now, it does not seem that Ashe really has any place anywhere. It also might turn out that Rampart, it might actually be a female character. When I said he, I may have been wrong, but you know, we didn't really know that at the time. So Respawn, I do think they're creatures of habit. I do think they have this 10-year plan in place to where they're going to follow it to basically a T. And based on their development pattern so far, there is pretty much no way that they're all of a sudden going to add in Ashe from Titanfall all of a sudden in Season 6. I do think that Respawn is going to keep and continuing in their general development pattern and stick to their plans. But I do think there is one way that Ashe could be added into the game, and that would not involve Respawn, you know, going out of their way and changing things. So the actual legend after Rampart, the Season 7 legend, is called Velk. Now these abilities have also been in the game files. There's an ability that deals with cluster missiles, an ability that deals with flying, and an ability that deals with completely flying away. I do think that there's the very most remote chance that on this dev sheet that's been accurate up to date, that Velk could somehow be the Season 7 legend. But up to date, what we've learned about the development of Apex Legends with the leaks that come out before the season starts, we've always had leaks about the legend before they come to the game. And unless Rampart or Velk happens to be the code name of Ashe when she comes into the game, that's kind of what I'm betting on with Velk, then I do not really see Ashe coming to Apex Legends as a legend anytime in the near future. But I think with all of this Darian and Duardo stuff and revenge and the Syndicate having Ashe as the hitman, I do think that Ashe, there's a very strong possibility that she'll have a huge deal to do with the Season 6 quests. Because people, if you did not know, Season 6 quests for Apex Legends were actually officially confirmed. As of now, besides the quests, I do not believe you will see Ashe in-game. I just wanted to destroy that theory because I do feel that a lot of people did feel that way. So if you happen to be new to my YouTube channel, go below this video and hit that subscribe button because I do a bunch of random Apex Legends stuff on my YouTube channel. The theory about Ashe being only a hitman for the Syndicate and only being involved in the quests in Season 6, do you believe me? I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope that you found all of this story enjoying. So anyways, people, that'll about wrap it up for me, the Alarmix. I'll see you guys later.